let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laugh. Hey, how could you lie to my face? People claim that they be loyal, they be taking up space. See my broski lose his heart when he was fighting that case. Took so many yells, I'm not going back to those days. I'ma treat you how you treat me, do you like how it tastes? Shawty, use up, can't treat you like my ace. I got way too many problems to be worried, I'm straight.
Hello everybody, I'm Jonathan Coachman, and this is Super Bowl Sunday on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Miami Dolphins. With that, it's time for Super Bowl 54, and we'll send you now to Miami, standing by to call their 4th Super Bowl together. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. Well, the road ends here. It has been a wild, often unpredictable 2019 season. And now it's time for the greatest spectacle in all of sports. Super Bowl 54 from Miami. You know, this town has played host to 10 Super Bowls in the past. And tonight, we write chapter number 11. And what a matchup we've got. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Miami Dolphins taking on the 5-time Super Bowl champs from the NFC, the Dallas Cowboys. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis, and a lot of buzz with this one. Extra buzz, Charles, because the Dolphins trying to become the first team ever to win the Lombardi Trophy inside their home stadium.
And it looked like the Vikings had a heck of a chance a couple of seasons ago, didn't it? They were rolling in the playoffs, possibly could have gotten there, came up just a little bit short. A number of teams have had that chance over the years. Detroit, they've had the Super Bowl in their stadium. I guess the closest we've had was when San Francisco won it in Palo Alto. In Stanford Stadium just down the road. But the Dolphins' last Super Bowl trip was 1985. A loss to those Niners, ironically enough, in Super Bowl 19. Where? Stanford Stadium. They've won it twice, but you have to go back to Super Bowl 7 and 8. 1973, 1974. Hard to believe that proud franchise hasn't won one since.
Meanwhile, the Cowboys have had some ups and downs since their last Super Bowl appearance, but they're back for the 9th time, trying to win number 6 and tie the Patriots and Steelers. For the Cowboys, their last Super Bowl title quite a while ago, January of '96.
And those were great teams. Jimmy Johnson was their head coach, Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, all Hall of Famers. They were known as the Triplets. But then you go further back to those great teams in the 70s, led by Hall of Fame coach Tom Landry, Roger Staubach at quarterback, Tony Dorsett at running back. Those were great teams as well. This one, trying to create their own identity.
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
A first carry for Kenyon Drake. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
Anthony Brown there on the tackle. The Miami Dolphins starting lineup now, and Kenyon Drake, a guy to watch.
He has the ability to affect the game in so many different ways. In the return game, bringing it back himself. Also can be a gunner on the punt coverage team and did that very well at Alabama. But has the ability to run the ball in the backfield as well as catch it. Kenyon Drake, you can use him so many different ways.
And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. with a first touchdown of the Super Bowl, and a long one at that, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Dak Prescott leading the Dallas Cowboys into the Super Bowl. And Craig Morton, Roger Staubach, Troy Aikman, and now Dak Prescott, the 4 Cowboy quarterbacks to start a Super Bowl. The other 3, all Super Bowl champs. Now the question, can Dak Prescott follow in their footsteps? So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Prescott to throw it. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. Third down here. And the offensive starters for Dallas.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10.
On the double. 54's Mike. Check. Walk 54. That's right, man.
On first down, Drake. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They'll run on first down. It's Drake. And some space here. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenyon Drake, 27 yards. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Michael Gallup, that's who he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down. And a look at the starters for the Miami defense.
One of the more underrated yet valuable positions in the NFL is safety, and Rashad Jones epitomizes what you're looking for. A guy who can drop down into the box in the run game and tackle those bigger, stronger running backs. He can also cover people, whether it's tight ends or bigger slot guys, and that gives him the ability to stay on the field every down and make big plays.
Now Elliott. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A give running right, Drake. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. He's off to a great start here in this first quarter. It seems like this defense is probably going to have trouble containing him.
I would agree with that. I love the observation. And here's the thing. Their game plan coming to fruition. You knew that they came in thinking that they could run it, and now they're proving that they can and doing it in a big way.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And an alley to run. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down. Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just... And he will score! Touchdown, Miami! It's their quarterback. His 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. But defensively, it didn't seem like anybody had eyes on the quarterback, and he took advantage.
So you think that maybe we're seeing some pretty good instincts for a young guy? Because that's the thing you worry about. Coming out of college, you're used to getting away with just about anything you want to do. You're just superior. Here, he has to read it, figure it out, and know when it's time to go.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On 2nd down. It's Elliott. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerome Baker, that is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
How about that, partner? His second sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here comes Grant on the return. Touchdown. What a run. 79 yards on the punt return. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach, but it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they hit the ball and kick it right to him.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And a route is on here in this first half. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott looking sideline, incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And they've got to be thankful for the 3rd phase in this one. They've had some nice punt returns on special teams.
And it feels like they're keeping it pretty simple, too. It's not a real complex scheme that they're using to return kicks. It's almost like they look to the sideline when they go out there and the coach just says, return wide side. Bring it over there, and off they go. Sometimes they'll go short side. But no matter what, it's working very well for them.
So let's start on the ground with Balaj. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle. 2 minutes even on the clock in the first half of Super Bowl 54. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And they worked this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Now a draw play with Drake. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. On second down, it's Drake. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. And the Cowboys here on third down bringing in an extra defensive back.
Here we go, General West. You're out. Check the hot read.
On play action, they'll throw. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. He was looking that time for Stills. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's third and long. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? The Dolphins going to take their second timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Returnable for Grant. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. So we've reached halftime here in the 2020 Super Bowl, Super Bowl 54. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this season.
The never-tedious halftime show behind us, and now it's back to football as we get going again in Super Bowl 54. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. He's got his target. It's Cobb, fighting his way through contact.
Holding offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fielded at the 20. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Right back to Drake. Get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It's a gain of 34.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. Eluding the pressure right. He'll try and run it. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
On second down now, it's Drake. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Now on first down, Drake again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Defensively, it was Leighton Vander Esch up from his linebacker spot. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. A sizable gain there, 9 yards as they get it back to a 3rd and 5. They'll set up to throw. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll try and run with Balaj. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. So the decision to go for it turns out to be a good one. They get a couple of yards, and he's going to bowl his way into the end zone for the Dolphins score. Kalen Balaj taking it in as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And Brad, I think we have to look back at the big call to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, that set up everything, and the end result, the short touchdown run. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think every coach would have gone for it back there.
You and I both know every coach would not have gone for it back there. So that showed a little bit of faith, actually showed a lot of faith in his team, and it was rewarded.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. 1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Prescott looks to throw on first. And he's got Ezekiel Elliott. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. And again, it's Prescott. That's complete to Cobb. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. 10th carry now for Elliott. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The kick by Maher is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And he'll make it across the 20, as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. 2nd and 9 now. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. And now they're in the hurry-up. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott. They find some open field here. Intended that time for Cooper. A great pick, nice return, but you know he's just beating himself up inside for not getting all the way in.
No doubt about it, because he had visions of end zone in his mind. Going to be the total hero. But we did see there the emphasis on it's not just good enough to pick it off anymore. Bring it back, get the yardage, and really help out your offense.
He'll look to throw. And he will not get away. He's sacked back around the 3-yard line. Malik Collins in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. The clock showing 2 minutes even in what's been a memorable Super Bowl 54. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 2nd and goal now. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. And often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate it.
Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And this fake extra point attempt failed big time. Not only did they not get it, they went backwards.
Partner, that type of a lead, and they're going to fake it from the 15 to try and pick up a 2-point play instead of kicking it through the post. Come on, man. Put that in mothballs. Come on. Come on. Don't do that.
Put that in mothballs?
Yeah, preserve that for it. That's an ancient relic, faking it. I can understand. You want to rub it in a little. You fake it when you snapped it from the 3. But from the 15, mothball that bad boy, just like my grandmother had.
Yeah,
in her attic, the stuff she used to preserve.
It smells terrible. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Here's Prescott. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
This is taken around the 12. So possession goes over here on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw. Going deep here for Stills. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And that's caught inside the 35. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin 1st down. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more. Little insult to injury here late in the game. From the left hash, this from 37. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these 2 teams meet. But until then, this game's over. And the Lombardi Trophy has a home in South Florida. The Miami Dolphins are your Super Bowl champions. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gunn signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.
Yeah. One up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dreams
The Super Bowl's over. The season is coming to a close. But before we usher you into the offseason, it's time for another edition of Believe It or Not.
Yeah!
Hey!
Let's go.
Guys, the first time ever a rookie quarterback started and won the Super Bowl. Schrager, believe it or not, this kid is a legit franchise quarterback.
I hate to be dismissive of you or the segment, Kate. Of course, yes, he just won a Super Bowl as a rookie. I think he's not only the franchise quarterback for now, but we're talking 10, 15 years. It was unbelievable what he just did.
Kyle?
I had some doubts back in April. It's a really good look for me right now. But yeah, I mean, the guy's incredible. They struck gold in the draft. They found their franchise guy, Nate. This is it.
100%. We saw this dude go from college backup to NFL elite in one season. Listen, if his rookie season is any indication of what things are to come, oh yeah, it's going to get even better.
Yeah. One up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, they like lights, camera, action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Feel like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride for my brothers, no lie. All you can die, never wrong, they right. I ain't changing my side, yeah, we in it for life. When up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laugh. Hey, how could you lie to my face? People claim that they be loyal, they be taking up space. See my broski lose his heart when he was fighting that case. Took so many yells, I'm not going back to those days. I'ma treat you how you treat me, do you like how it tastes? Shawty, use it, can't treat you like my ace. I got way too many problems to be worried, I'm straight. Me and Craig had to watch for the Jakes.
Welcome to Draft Week. All the effort you spend scouting comes down to this. Start the draft whenever you're ready.
The Raiders are now on the clock.
Yeah, drown out my problems, let me magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic.
The Dolphins are now on the clock.
We gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to.
The Bears are now on the clock.
What would you do if you were me and didn't have? Look in the mirror now, I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dreams reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing.
The Broncos are now on the clock.
Yeah.
The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock.
With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you.
The Raiders are now on the clock.
In my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have? Look in the mirror now, I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dreams reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, they like lights, camera, action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Felt like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride for my brothers, no lie. All you can die, never wrong, they right. I ain't changing my side, yeah, we in it for life. Magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have?
Start your week by installing your game plan.
Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma